and I'm really excited about it. And I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get. Um, there's a new game that I really want to get that is like a PS3 game and a PS5 game. I have a PS3, but I'm hoping we get a PS5.
Awesome, Dev. It was nice meeting
Oh
you. Nice meeting
no
you.
way! Oh
You
man, that's what I want too. I want a PS5.
you want
That's
a
so
PS5?
crazy.
Awesome. So those are actually two facts that we now know about you. Your birthday's coming up, and you would like a PS5 for your birthday. Did everybody hear Dev and him say that?
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Do I have another volunteer to go next? Jasmine, go ahead and share.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so my name is Jasmine. You just said that, so you already know that. And let's see. Um, well, it's kind of hard to pick something, but I think that I guess one thing that I want to share is that like I really think the environment is really important, and I've been really upset because of all the fires that have been going on, and so I think it's really important that everybody do what they can to really help, like even switching to solar power or things like that. I think that would be a big help,
That's awesome,
you know?
Jasmine. I'm glad that you care like that, and I think we all should. That's a very awesome thing to share. Thank you.
I think solar power, that'd be cool. I'd like
That
to have a
would
jetpack too. Like it'd be cool to have a jetpack. Oh, or those bikes that just power themselves. Those
that
are
would be
amazing. When my
cool.
dad's home, let me get one.
All right, so now we still have three more people that have to share. Do I have a volunteer to go next?
I can go. Yeah,
Ethan,
I
is
can
that
go.
you?
Uh-huh.
Okay, go ahead and share.
Yes, it is. So I would like to tell you that I have a bearded dragon.
Wow. Do you have a name
Yeah.
for your bearded dragon?
His name, I do. His name is Dude.
Dude,
He is so cool.
does everybody know what a bearded
Yeah.
dragon is?
I don't really. I mean, I'm guessing it's some kind of little, kind of like a gecko or something.
Ethan, could you maybe
I know
explain
what it
what it
is.
is?
Yeah, me too.
Ethan, could you tell us a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
more?
yeah. So it's like yeah, yeah, yeah. So a bearded dragon is like almost like an iguana in a way, but they're not quite as big as that, and they are really super cool. They look really. They got this like they're called a bearded dragon because they have a flap that looks like a pointy beard.
Awesome, Ethan. That was a great
Wow, that's
description.
cool.
Yeah, and it's his bearded dragon is named Dude. So that's great to share. Thank you, Ethan.
Yeah, no
Davi, Davi,
problemo.
Davi, would you like to go next and share something about yourself?
Mm, uh, um,
If you don't want to, you can just listen to your
my name
classmates.
is. Oh, 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 okay.
Did you have something you wanted to share? Your classmates would love to hear something new
Um,
about you.
yeah, that like Davi, um, where are you from? I
Where
like the way you talk.
where am I from?
Oh no, I was asking Davi where she's from.
Oh, you're asking Davi where she's from. Okay. Maybe she could
Yeah.
answer for us.
Um, I I am from Cambodia.
That's
Oh
awesome.
wow, that's cool.
Do you want to share something that you like to do there?
Mm, oh, I like I like to mm, play music.
Play music. That's awesome. I love music too. So I think
Oh yeah, me too. I love music.
Thank you for sharing. Savannah, since you are our last student to share today, would you like to go and wow us with an interesting fact about you?
Um, I don't know if I have anything that would wow anybody, but
That's
um,
okay. Maybe just something small?
well, yeah. My my family likes we like to do board games, and like we're super competitive, so we've been having some like really big tournaments when everybody's been home, um, like risk tournaments and Clue
Oh,
and a bunch of different board games.
that's awesome. I'm also into card games and board games too. So that's awesome. That was a great share. Thank you. Davi,
Um,
am I saying your name correctly? Could you correct me if I'm saying it wrong?
uh, oh, it's Davi.
Davi. Okay. I just
That's
wanted
right.
to make sure I'm saying it right. Awesome. So Davi is new to our school, and we want to tell her some facts and some classroom rules that we have. Does anybody know why we have classroom rules? I want you to raise your hand so then I can pick on. Jasmine?
Yes. So, well, like we have rules because it helps us like keep the class not too crazy.
Yeah. So our classroom rules keep us in a line so we can know what is wrong and what is right in our classroom. Did anybody have anything to add to Jasmine's answer?
Um, yeah, I have some like so
Ethan?
one of the things why we have rules, yeah, is is because like if we didn't have rules, then people might do stuff that would hurt somebody or something like that, and you wouldn't want that to happen.
Yeah. So that's an awesome point. If we didn't have rules, then it might be chaos in our classroom. So now that we
Yeah.
understand why we have rules in our classroom and why they are important, I want us to come up with 3 classroom rules that we can all share for our classroom together. Do I have anybody that maybe do you want me to make the first rule?
Yeah. You make the first rule,
So my
Miss
first
Brown.
rule is I'm going to say once we have something to share, I want us to raise our hands. So we are not shouting over each other and we can just raise our hands because that's how I know you have a question or that's how I know you have a comment that you want to say something. So that's going to be our first rule. Does anybody else have another rule they want to add to our classroom? Jasmine?
Um, yes, I think that another really good rule is that you treat everybody with respect.
That's a great rule. Why is that important?
Well, it's like really important that you treat people with respect and treat people like you want to be treated because because if you didn't do that, then people could get really depressed or sad or like if there's bullying or cyberbullying or something like that, and then they wouldn't be able to do their best work, and then that would be like really not fair.
Yeah, I like what you said when you said you want to treat everybody like you want to be treated. I like what you said there because
Yeah.
we wouldn't want anybody to treat us poorly, so we would not want to do that to anybody else. Does anybody
Yes,
else have a
exactly.
classroom rule they would like to add to our safe place? Dev?
I think one thing, the rule that I think is really good is like that everybody do their own work, because like sometimes like I remember last year in 6th grade there was a kid who would sometimes like copy off my paper, and I didn't like it.
That's a great rule because once we do our own work, then we know that we understand the knowledge and we understand what we're learning. But if we have to look off somebody else, that means we don't really understand it. And we might want to ask for help or ask our teacher to come and help us. Does anybody else have any
Yeah.
other rules they want to add to our classroom? If not, that's okay. We are at
Oh, I've
three
got one.
rules.
I've got one.
Ethan, is that you?
I've got one. What
Are
about,
you are
yeah,
you raising your
yeah.
hand?
Oh, no, I am not. Wait, hold
Oh,
up.
there we
Okay.
go. Now I know that you have something to say. Go
I
ahead, Ethan.
yes, I was gonna say that we could have like Fun Friday. So if we do really well all week, then we can have like Fun Friday
Fun
and like
Friday.
listen to music because Davi said she likes music. So like we could like have a dance party or something like that.
Yeah, Davi does like music, so I think that
That
might,
would be so much fun.
yeah, I think that would be awesome if we listen to our rules all week long and we are all good students for the week and we together feel like we had a good week. I think maybe we could fit in a fun Friday.
Oh
That
my
would,
gosh, that would be amazing. That would be so much fun.
that's an awesome idea, Ethan. Does anybody have any questions about our
Oh yeah.
Does anybody have any questions about today? Davi,
Um,
how are you feeling about our
like,
classroom rules?
oh, I'm sorry.
How are you feeling about our
What?
classroom today?
Oh, uh, good.
Good. Awesome. So I'm just going to reread the rules. I want This is what we all came up with together. Number 1 was to raise your hand when you have something to ask or to comment on. Number 2 was to treat everyone with respect. So Jasmine said, treat everybody how you want to be treated. And then number 3, we have everyone do their own work. So Dev mentioned that one, and then Ethan mentioned Fun Fridays if we complete all of these throughout the week. So that's awesome, everybody.
Yes.
Any more
Fun
questions
Friday.
before we wrap up tonight?
No, this is like, I think it's going to be a really good year. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm excited to have all of you in my classroom this year. And I think our classroom rules really set us off to a good start.
Hmm.
All right, so we'll go ahead and stop there, Kinsey. Well done. Let's talk about that. How are you feeling after that simulation?
I'm feeling pretty good. This group was very interactive compared to my last group, so that was really fun.
Oh, good. That's interesting. Well,
Yeah.
good. Um, well, how do you think that the students are feeling?
I think the students are feeling well. Davi, I'm not sure. I was kind of nervous because of her English speaking level as of right now. So when I was like stating classroom
Yes.
rules and like kind of going over it again, I really wanted to ask like any questions, just in case, like I didn't want to leave it open ended.
Right. That's really interesting. So I'm wondering, like, would there have been other ways besides asking if there are any questions to check for understanding, or other ways that you could have reinforced that for Davi in particular?
I could have maybe stated a situation and then kind of asked for a response as if
Oh.
like, is this something that we should do or is this something we should not do?
Oh, that's a good idea. Like, and even something where, like, maybe asking, them to raise their hand if they think it's a good idea or not a good idea, and then that way
Yeah,
everybody could participate.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense because it seemed like Duffy was a little nervous to talk by herself. She
yeah,
probably was feeling a little bit uncomfortable in front of the group in the beginning.
yeah.
Um, so, what were there some modifications that you did use to support all of your students?
I tried to do maybe like a head nod or a for understanding and
Yeah.
to raise hand with when we came up with the rule to raise your hand, kind of reinforcing that when Ethan was talking out. So kind of saying like, don't forget that was our first rule, like we raise our hands.
Yes, yeah, that was great that you were able to reinforce that. And then also you were using the non-verbal cues, like you were holding up your hand to raise
Yeah.
hand. You were demonstrating it as well as saying it. So yeah, I definitely saw that. So if you had the chance to do this again, what do you think you could improve upon?
I would definitely change to more nonverbal communication between the students and maybe like kind of figure out something to help Davi like feel more engaged with the classroom. Some kind of
Hmm.
let her share a little more about maybe she said she enjoyed music, maybe what kind of music she enjoyed. And I would like that the classmates asked questions for her, so like about her, so she felt included in the classroom. So I'd probably change that aspect and just make her feel more welcomed.
I think that's a really, I love the idea of taking some time to expand on a topic because it seemed like music was a point when the kids started relating to each other and connecting with each other. And so giving, like facilitating that conversation may have helped her feel even more at ease,
Yeah.
you know. Um, so that makes sense. I do want to acknowledge the tone in the room. Like, what do you think the students like? How did you notice the students change from the beginning of the conversation to the end of the conversation?
Um, to me, I felt like they were very open with me. I
Hmm.
like they kind of like Savannah was a little more quiet and reserved, but the other one, I know I saw Jasmine kind of come out of her shell. She was a little quiet at first, and then towards the end, when Ethan mentioned the fun Fridays, she kind of felt like, oh, that would be a really fun idea. Like I really like that, so I kind
Yeah,
of felt more opened up to her.
yeah, absolutely. And what do you think that you did to contribute to that? Because I agree, the class was much more lively at the end than they were in the beginning. Everybody seemed pretty happy and open, and there was a lot
Mhm.
of smiling and nodding and looking at each other and sharing. So, what did you do to help create that environment?
I'd say I gave them kind of a choice. So they kind of, it's their classroom, it's their safe environment. So having them
Hmm.
participate in setting classroom rules kind of made them feel like they were a part of it. So making sure like they knew that like this is their classroom, not just my classroom. So we should all have set
Yeah.
rules.
Absolutely. You did that so consistently. And I think that you also, anytime anybody contributed anything, you were really positive and you really reinforced what they had to say. Like when Jasmine was talking about the environment or when she was
Mhm.
talking about respect, you really reiterated what she said and said, yeah, that's so important. And you really took their ideas seriously, which I think really made a big difference.
Thank you.
Um, and then even when you redirected Ethan, it was still in a positive way. It wasn't a way that was like making him feel called out or shamed in any way. It was just like, oh, remember, it's just again
Mhm.
very positive. So
Yeah.
really, really nicely done. So my last question for you is, what's one thing that you're taking away from this experience that you'll use the next time you face a similar situation in real life?
I'm definitely going to take away using all of my students' resources. So, knowing that Dovey loved music, I would definitely take that away and incorporate that into my classroom. And knowing
Hmm.
that Jasmine was into um, all of the fires and stuff and like having like just like a better world and how to do that, I would definitely incorporate those things into my classroom. So that's kind of what I liked about the introduction lessons. So to get to know something about them another point for me to get to include it into my classroom.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea that you could take what information you get out of that first
Yeah.
meet and greet and then use that to build your subsequent lessons. That's
Hmm.
great. Um, all right, Kinsey. Well, thank you so much. Any final questions for me?
No, I think I'm all good. Thank you.
All right. Well, listen, thank you so much. You did a great job. And then once you stop the recording, the video will be available on your computer as soon as the call ends.
Awesome.
All right.
Great. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much. Have a great night
You too.
and see you next time. Take care.